Good morning. Every time it's raining outside, I always have a great story to cover. However, I was looking at my mobile phone today, looking through the newspapers, and quite by accident, I came across the Daily Telegraph. And the story goes that the government are funding schools. I don't know what kind of what they're doing with the money, but they're funding schools to encourage boys to wear skirts and girls to wear trousers. And the reason being is that the schools are claiming that overnight, boys and girls are questioning their gender, not sexuality. They think they're gay and lesbian, but questioning their gender, whether the boy is a female and the girl is a boy. And this is happening a lot according to the government. Whether it's true, we don't know. But it seems that today a lot of children are questioning whether they're boys or girls. So we're living in a binary an age where I can no longer say that this is a black phone. I could argue it's a white phone. It's all according to the philosophical word, existentialism, right? So what is right to someone else isn't right to others. And this is a kind of interesting age that we're now living in. That we can, or if a woman give birth to a little girl or boy, and when they reach 4 years old, as in many cases where children have had sex changes, they can claim that they feel. Let me give an example. Right, when I was I think I was 10 years old, 11 years old. I used to play with dolls. I used to play with my sister's dolls and comb the hair and things like that, right? I was what you'd call the feminine of the family, being artistic, creative, poetic, writer, pianist, so dancer. I can't dance now because I'm too big, but I was a dancer. So I was the feminine one. I was into gardening, with my other brothers who were masculine, right? Don't more masculine they are now. It's something turning around. They're feminine, I'm masculine. But my brother said that they'd kill me. Anyway, I was the feminine one, right? And I used to even put on my mother's high heels, right? And obviously I grew out of it, and when I discovered, girls, my first girlfriend was an Indian girl, Mabel. Anyway, if I was born in this era, they would have says, oh, I should have a sex change. I'm confused. Not allow me to grow out of it. But they would say that, oh, put him in a skirt, and, the system would latch onto that and groom me to believe that, I'm born a girl. Right? Although I'm pretty still. I'm still pretty. Sorry, I'm in a humorous mood today. But when we're going through puberty, right, the hormonal changes, a lot of things happen to us. Environmental factors are involved, cultural factors, etc. And especially whether we have two parents around, and these are influential factors which the government are not taking into consideration. Now, I've got to be careful how I say this. I would not take too seriously a government that has been involved in a cesspool of paedophilia, which no one has given account for, to come and give me advice on how to raise my children. I'm still waiting for Theresa May to find the pen, the USB pen, with all the names of all the top government officials, MPs, that were involved in a paedophile ring, in 10 Downing Street, London. I'm still waiting for the government to come clean and divulge these names. And so I would not take too seriously anything the government has to say on sexual development or sex and gender. I wouldn't take too seriously, because it appears that they have a sinister agenda. If you remembered when this white woman said she was black, and she lived her blackness, she participated in trying to make black people's lives better. So it wasn't just a fantasy. Well, some people claim it was, but people gave her hell for it. The media gave her hell because she said she was black, and the world bullied this white woman because she said she was black. They bullied her. The media hounded her. Let me send you a picture of this woman. What's interesting, when white people want to identify themselves as black, or black people want to identify themselves as white, suddenly everything makes sense. No, 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 you can't do that. Why not? All my friends are whites because I live in a white area. My interest is white. I like opera, I like classical music, I like museums, I'm enjoying the British heritage, etc. I live a white life. Why can't I call myself white if I feel white? No, 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 no. Why not? Why not? Why can't white women call themselves black, or white men? If I knew a white guy, he loved reggae music. He loved it. He had every compilation, every collection, Gregory Isaac, Bob Marley, Dennis Brown. He had the real good reggae music. This white guy, he had a white girlfriend. He had a white girlfriend, but he loved reggae music. In fact, he was blacker than a lot of black guys. He was really black. Why not call him black? But you can't. So there seemed to be an order to this madness. Why would the government orchestrate your sons wearing a skirt? Are you okay with it? Your son going to school with the high heels and skirt? Very, very, very interesting, the kind of age that we're going to end up in 10 years from now. 10 years from now, we're not going to recognize the world that we're now creating or constructing. We're not going to recognize it, because language no longer mean what it is. I'd love to try an experiment and come back on here and tell you how I went. I'd love to somehow put that I'm white and start a campaign, say I'm white, and see how they take it, because that would put a stop to this government nonsense. Can you imagine a black man putting down an application going for a manager or something, area manager, and he puts on the application he's white and he really feels white, and he goes for the job interview. Oh, sorry, I just started something on my feet. You know, we live in a world where everything has to make sense. Otherwise, if somebody mugs you, who mugged you? I don't know. It could be a white woman. It could be a black man. It could be a transsexual. It could be asexual. It could be sexually fluid. It could be an it. At the police station, they take the fingerprint. They say, oh, what are you? If you say, oh, woman, man, don't you dare! Okay, what are you? Call me it. It's actually happened. Call me sexually fluid. It's rather interesting times that we're living in. Very interesting times. That the only time where this madness stops is when it comes to race. When it comes to race, suddenly you begin to realize we're being socially, spiritually, politically, and culturally engineered for their new world order.